Okay, in this lesson on the binomial theorem, we're going to have a look at how to find specific coefficients. Remember, a coefficient is a number that would multiply a variable. For example, here, the coefficient of the x cubed is 5, the coefficient of the x squared is 2. So we want to find the coefficient of x to the power 6 in the expansion of 3 minus x to the power 9. Okay, so we could actually just work through the binomial theorem as normal, and we would eventually get there, but because it's to the power 9, there's quite a lot of work involved there, and we want to try and make our lives a wee bit more straightforward. I'm just going to link back once again to what we would see in our formula list. What we're going to do when we want to find a specific coefficient, we are going to work with this formula here. Okay? We specifically want to work out when we've got x to the power 6, but to start off with, we're just going to write down what this would look like for our term here. Okay, so I'm going to leave off the sum notation because it's just going to be n choose r 3 to the n minus r minus x to the r. Okay, using this for A and this for B. We are told that n is 9, so it's going to become 9 choose r 3 to the power 9 minus r minus x to the power r. So if we relate back to this question here, we want to work out what is the coefficient of x to the power 6. Okay, so if we want to have an x to the power 6, that means that, see this here, we want the value of r to be 6, because then if r equals 6, then I'll have x to the power 6. So we're going to say, therefore, r equals 6. So we can go ahead and say, okay, so it's going to be 9 choose 6, 3 to the power n minus 6 minus x to the power 6. It's going to become 9 choose 6, 3 cubed, see this expression here, minus x to the power 6. So see, when we times a negative by itself 6 times, it's going to be positive. So that's going to become x to the power 6. So if we want to work out what is the value of the coefficient that multiplies x to the power 6, well, it's just the value of this here. Okay, it's this that multiplies x to the power 6. Okay, so that's going to become 9 choose 6 times 27 x to the power 6. For this, we could go to the 9th row of Pascal's triangle, but because that'd be quite a lot of work, I'm probably just going to use my formula list here, where it's going to be n factorial over r factorial n minus r factorial. Okay, so I'll just do this at the side here. 9 choose 6. Well, that's going to be 9 factorial over 6 factorial, 3 factorial. We can rewrite 9 6 factorial, 3 factorial. We can simplify our 6 factorials. So it's going to become 9 times 8 times 7 over 3 times 2 times 1. 3 times 2 times 1. We can do a wee bit of simplifying here. 3 would go into that once and into that 3 times. 2 would go into that once and into that 4 times. So that's going to become 3 times 4 times 7. So 12 times 7 is 84. That's going to become 84 over 1. Okay, so that's going to become 84 times 27 x to the power 6. And you can do 84 times 27, which is going to give us 2,268 x to the power 6. So the coefficient of x to the power 6 is 2,268.